Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath.
And I'm Bree.
And we're here to talk about Avengers Endgame. Now, full disclosure, the original plan for this video was to do a spoiler-free discussion, but we have tried, we have failed. It is impossible to talk about this movie without talking about spoilers. So, if you have not seen Avengers Endgame, stop this video. Pause this video. What should they do?
Pause the video. Go to the theater and see it, and then come right back and watch this video.
Yes, just leave it paused, and then unpause it when you get back. I'll start about that. So, I wasn't, like, I don't even know. Like, I can't even. That's where I'm at with this movie. I can't even. I give it 2 thumbs up. I love this movie. But I'm trying to elaborate. Trying to articulate why it's so hard for me, because it goes deep into like my comic book love, the love of the characters from these movies over the last 11 years. It's such a profound experience. Here's the thing. I know for a fact we've never seen anything like this before. What Disney/Marvel has achieved with almost 24 movies over this 11-year span, introducing these characters, connecting the dots, building a larger world. And then I thought that it had kind of all come together with Avengers Infinity War. There was nothing compared to this movie.
Absolutely.
And so I also feel, having now finished this movie, I don't think we're going to see anything like this again. I think what we have seen with the 3 phases of Marvel, or whatever they were, from Iron Man to Avengers Endgame, I think that's movie history.
Well, it'd be so challenging to replicate it with how big of a universe they built and how intricate it was, and the backstories and connecting everything. Like, I think it would be really hard.
And they will. They will try to replicate that, because we've already seen
successful.
Because this is a spoiler review. They've passed the torch for several characters now.
Yes, they're going to keep going.
It's legacy. And I'm not even surprised by any of that. I think we knew going in that some of these characters wouldn't make it out. I think we kind of all knew who they would be.
Yeah.
And it's weird, because we live in a world where we know contract negotiations and we know what certain actors are being paid. So when I reviewed Avengers Infinity War for the channel, my initial reaction was like, well, they did it. That was entertaining. That was pretty good. I didn't love it.
Your Robert De Niro face.
It's pretty good. Yo, you're pretty good. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike it.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's all right.
It was all right. It was a good time at the movies. This is so personal to me, you guys. Like, this is again, the words are failing. It means so much to me, because I love these characters, and this is, I was afraid it was going to be a big 3-hour CGI spectacle, and it wasn't. It was like 2 hours and 40 minutes of character, 20 minutes of CGI shenanigans that I was invested in, because I'd had all this character stuff to invest in. I wanted to say something about the character development too. One of the things that I noticed in this movie is some people have said in the comments below, and I'm not calling out anybody, but some people have said in the comments that they didn't think that there was a lot of character development in movies like Thor Ragnarok or...
Oh my gosh, really?
It's been said.
Oh.
Whereas I see these movies, and in this one, I was like, this character is now at the end of their arc. This character is now at the end of their arc. Once you've had Captain America, spoilers, once you've had Captain America pick up Thor's hammer and use it, you can't go back to him not having the hammer. You've reached the arc. Then he starts here, he pinnacles, he is at the end of his journey. Same with, I don't know what they're going to do with Hulk from this point, because Hulk is another one. He's made peace with who he is. He's the Grey Hulk. He has blended the monster with the scientist. And in the comics, we saw, comics can do these things, but they also have to constantly reset. If you can't reset a movie like that. You have to clear the plate. And so many of these characters, I was like, Tony Stark is done. Even before at the beginning of the movie, I was like, he's not going to die on this ship, but he's done.
His will was,
Yes.
His will to live was, it seemed over.
Well as he is no longer the selfish, his internal struggle is he's now fully a hero. What Tony Stark has always been was like hero who has to put himself aside.
Yeah.
But the Tony Stark we meet in this movie cares more about his family than anything else in the world.
Yeah.
And his ultimate sacrifice, you see, like, of course he's going to do that. So many of these things have been, you can just see. I'm sure they flew by the seat of their pants a lot too, but so many of these moments have been laid out for so long. And you can look back now and you can see, and that's one of the things that I love so much about this movie that makes it feel really special to me, is because it is not just a sequel to an Infinity War or the latest Avengers movie. It actually succeeds in revisiting everything that has come before, respecting it, paying tribute to it, and then saying goodbye. And I think that there are a lot of people who are going to go see this movie. I just gave myself goosebumps thinking about that. Not like I'm like, oh, you're so wise, but like the thought of that, like, it's time to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And I did get emotional during the movie. It was not at the parts that I think people would expect. It was...
Well, this is a spoiler review, so you can share when those... When did you get emotional?
Avengers Assemble. Because he's never said that in the movie. Every time he almost says it, they undercut it. Something else happens. Like at the end of Age of Ultron, he's like, Avengers? And then they cut. And they go to credits. So to have Cap and all of the Avengers there that we've ever seen... And it's just a movie, right? It's just comic book characters. It's just a movie, but the spirit of like the heroism and what it's in service of, and then the Cap with the when Cap gets the Iron Man, the Thor hammer. That was another one. I was like, yeah. And then of course at the end of the movie when we get Cap's ultimate fate, when we learn,
oh my gosh,
like going all the way back to the first Avenger, he got his happy ending and he lived a happy life. It's beautiful. This movie is classy AF. This movie is so, like, the way that they went out, the way that they tied up all these characters. You pass on the torch to the Falcon. You pass on, I can't even, like, I can't. I'm too emotional right now. But the way that the credits come up and then it's like all the farewells, the signatures and stuff.
Oh yeah, that was really nice. Yeah.
This was history. I don't think Harry Potter didn't do it. Lord of the Rings didn't do it. Star Wars didn't do it. We have trilogies. We have highs and lows. But here we have 20. Is it 22 or 23? Anyway.
A lot.
Almost over 20 movies in a short amount of time with presenting characters, building these characters, and then saying goodbye to the characters. And I think there are a lot of people who are going to be upset that why can't we just why can't we have more Captain America adventures with Steve Rogers? Why did Tony Stark have to go? Now, unfortunately, a lot of that is because we know like contract negotiations and things like that. But also because things have to end. And like with our Kiss, the End of the Road tour review video, everything has an ending. Everything has a beginning, it has a middle, and it has an ending. And for now, for these characters, for the ones we said goodbye to, this was the ending. And it's comics. It's not actual comics. It's comic book movies. But anything can happen. I don't expect to see Chris Evans again in a movie. I don't expect to see Robert Downey Jr. again in an Iron Man movie. But it could happen. There could be a cameo here or there. But it felt like a wonderful goodbye. Yeah.
I agree.
Do you have anything that you want to throw in? You have any thoughts? I knew you struggled at the beginning of this movie, right? Like while I'm just gushing, you had
I really like this movie a lot. Quite a bit actually. And I think just at the beginning when it was slowly setting everything up, I was not super into it.
Not feeling it.
Not feeling it at the very beginning.
Like the hot dog scene?
Well, no, just like the whole, like more than that. That was fine.
We don't know what you're talking about. Like, what do you...
Like, I liked that scene, but like it just...
Did you hear in the audience
slow
when
beginning.
the family vanished and like there were audible gasps? I'm like, for real?
There were audible gasps at the end when... Did you hear too when Thanos' ship fired on the Avengers building, like as soon as the ship appeared, somebody went, just like, oh my goodness.
So I'm sorry, what parts were you bored during? The building of
yeah.
Like when they were getting the team to, the 5 years later, just the mopey sad beginning?
Yeah, that's what it was.
The mopey sad beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
Exactly.
That. Yeah.
And I kept thinking, like, I know it's going to draw me in at some point. Because they always do.
Right.
But I just wasn't, I mean, I didn't hate it, but I wasn't super feeling
you weren't
it
engaged.
At the beginning.
It wasn't engaging you.
I was just kind of like, meh. But then I ended up really loving it. And I have to say, I freaking loved Thor in this movie.
Yes.
So
Thor
much.
owned this movie. He owned this movie. I'm totally from the future. He got to do
awesome.
It's like sometimes they do these things with these characters and you're not expecting it. Like to take Thor to that level, is like exactly not what you. It's like Hulk not really being in the last movie. This one, like Thor's gonna be in it, but he's gonna be like 60 pounds overweight. He's gonna be like a deadbeat alcoholic. He's always been an alcoholic, but it was great.
It was great. It was just, and I feel like when they do that, it makes them so relatable.
Yes.
Like seeing flaws in superheroes is one of the things I love, because I love being able to relate to them. I mean, that's one of the reasons I love Loki so much. Is because not really just because of Loki. Tom Hiddleston, but
is he on your shirt?
Yeah,
he is on your shirt.
They both have Thor and
There's
Loki and Thor.
Is he showing up on the camera?
I don't know, but they're both there.
The
Rainbow Bridge.
The Rainbow Bridge.
But I love that he has a difficult past. You know, being adopted into this family, which I know can be a challenging thing. I mean, he's not a real person, but it just his story and how it takes him, it's just, I really relate to people who have problems, because everybody has problems, and when people are just shown as perfect, I can't connect with them. But and just the duality of him, how he struggles with being mischievous and being bad, with like, he does do good things. Yeah, he does. Yeah. And I feel like his character kind of came full circle with Thor Ragnarok as well. By the end of that movie, he's like a bro with Thor. I think it's a beautiful movie. I think it's wonderful. I'm not going to go see it again in the theater. No. Because 3 hours is a long time. But I will say that I don't think I'd change a single second of this movie. Like, I know you would, because you were a little bit bored at the beginning. But we're all different. It's okay.
Well, yeah, no, it's fine.
And I love the ending so much.
What a journey these characters have been on, and then Steve, like again with Steve Rogers, where he's had after all these years to end it.
His story was the
Peggy
best.
Carter.
Gosh,
they and so many, like the Agent Carter characters. So the oh my gosh, so many of these characters that we haven't seen in years. Yeah. Natalie Portman back. Yeah. Renee Russo. Howard Stark. I can't remember the actor's name. The second Howard Stark. Right, because they've had a few actors that play Howard Stark, but
John Slattery.
That sounds right. Everybody, like this was everybody.
Do you know, I almost wore my Agent Carter shirt to the movie today, and then I decided on Thor and Loki. But I wish I had. Now I wish I had.
You might have been spoiling it for people, though.
They would think that I knew something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love her though.
I don't have anything else to say. I mean, I respect this movie. Not only did I enjoy it, I respect it. The way it went out to, like, Captain America, like, 40s big band music.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And then
it was great.
Classy. AF. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Guys, thanks for hanging out with us and talking about Avengers Endgame. Of course, we want to know what you thought about it, so weigh in the comments below. We're not being dirty. We're telling you to weigh in the comments below. If you're going to make, I will say this, if you're planning on going to make a 46 Things Wrong with Avengers Endgame, you can talk to that too. But guys, thank you so much. We appreciate you so very much. So until next time, we will catch you later.